But, and then apparently, Joint Law Review Committee is planning a hearing tomorrow afternoon. Is that correct? Again, hopefully you all are here for that as well. And so, in terms of, and let me just, if you will, Rod, and again, you represent the co-op of Central. And last week when Mr. Cowell got up at the end, he mentioned having lunch with, or dinner with, or conversations with Jimmy Staten, Santee Cooper, perhaps Dominion as well. I don't know if I heard that. My question to you, if Mike were here, I would ask him directly, but whose hat is he wearing when he is interacting with the Santee Cooper folks? Because if I understand it, he does not work for you at Central. He works with the Electric Cooperatives, which is the lobbying arm, correct?
That is correct. Mike works for what I refer to as the trade association of the Electric Cooperatives, and he represents 18 of the 20. His business model is you can take services from him on an annual basis on that group or not. Whereas Central, we're signing long-term contracts with counterparties on behalf of all 20 cooperatives. So we represent all 20 of the electric cooperatives. We are the electric cooperatives.
So to the degree that, again, fiduciary duty, responsibility, again, your faces are interchangeable with, again, as I have to be schooled again over and over as to who represents who. But Timken and you represent Central solely. Okay. And so, Mike, if Mike were here, I'll ask him this, I'll ask you, are you privy to, and are you part of these ongoing dinners or conversations with Jimmy Staten and Mike and the others?
I believe Mike mentioned Keller's name. They are talking, as I understand, I'm not privy to those, and I don't want to speak to what happens there. I don't know exactly. I believe they're talking about government relations activity in the respect that a new power plant, as I said last time, is going to take all of us working together. And when I say all of us, the cooperatives, Santee Cooper, Dominion, I'm not sure there aren't other utilities. It's going to take the legislature, the environmental groups. It's really going to be everyone in South Carolina needing to work together. And I don't want to speak for them, but I believe those are the things we're talking about. It's how do you bring all of them together to move forward.
Okay. And those are healthy, fruitful conversations. Again, we're all in this together. House, Senate, each of us here, Central, 18 cooperative members, we're all in this together. And so that is a healthy thing. But I just wanted to make clear for the record, you're not sitting at that table, or Tinkin, Mr. John Tinkin, is not sitting at those tables, these conversations. But perhaps you all are talking independent of those dinners or monthly, or again, whatever he said that happened.
Yeah, certainly. Just to be careful, we have conversations with community Santee Cooper also. They tend to be more of the technical conversations. And the three of us are having those. They are having some conversations because of the role that we're going to take that we are not privy to. But I would tell you in general, it's people talking about what's it going to take for a coalition. And then there's the technical side. But you are correct. John Tinkin and I are not involved in those dinners. We're more what I call the technical side.
We want dinners to continue to happen. I just want to know, again, whose hat is being worn. I would invite you to be invited to those dinners if you would be so invited.
I think at some point that is probably the plan. And if you'll let me, Senator, one thing just to make sure. Mike represents the 18 tribes, but for the Trade Association, Central is also a member of the Trade Association. The South Carolina Power Team through Central is somewhat a member. New Horizon is a member. CS, I believe, is a member. So when individuals come to talk to the legislative bodies, to the regulatory bodies, often it's the Trade Association through Mike and John Frigg that are having those discussions on behalf of the cooperatives in South Carolina.
Okay, and again, Senator Campson, jump in at any point. I don't want to dominate this, but we lot moving and bigger topic that, again, for slow learners, it requires multiple questions by me. At any point you want to jump in, please do. The contract again, that y'all have entered into, that you have told us on February the 14th with a letter to various members of this General Assembly. That contract came about as a result of your contractual right to opt out of new transmission that Santee Cooper identified it needed in their IRP, Integrated Resource Plan, to replace the windmill, correct?
Correct. So, if you'll let me, I'm going to step back a bit. They do an IRP, we do an IRP. From the IRP, we did ours in 2020. Everyone realizes that there's going to be a new resource.
And that, again, for the world who doesn't know this, we're talking about Integrated Resource Plan,
Correct, sir.
which under Act 90, Santee Cooper, for the first time, was required to show God and country as transparently as we know how to require to show what they're going to do.
Right.
All right. Central, I think we established last week, does not have that same obligation to submit to the regulatory bodies that your own IRP, or do they?
Slightly, Santee Cooper is now required to give it to the Public Service Commission as I read the law. Ours goes to the Office of Regulatory Staff.
Okay. So, they, and we all agree, we're here because y'all opted out and just did not partner on bringing the gas generation to windmill, which never seemed a very practical idea, correct?
Correct. And again, I know it's a lot of information, and the staff, I'm sure, is working through it multiple times. So that was talked about and discussed. Gas, I think everyone's IRP says gas has a role. It's a bridge technology, if nothing else. Was discussed. Central pushback. You'll see that in the notes of the Joint Planning Committee. We're not sure. It seems like you're going fast. We'd like you to slow down. But ultimately, they make a proposed shared resource in January of 22, and it is a combined cycle plant at Windmill Generating Station. At that point, it's a yes/no decision for us. We took our time. We're deliberate and robust process. But a couple of things, and again, it's in the notes. One, we weren't sure that they could get it built. That was one. And the second was, if not there, where? And have we looked at all alternatives? And so we did, after studying, so we get 120 days, we studied a very deliberate, very robust process, and came to the conclusion that there are other viable alternatives. While we're doing that, just to be clear, we're continuing to talk to Santee Cooper. Might you talk about something else? They chose not to, and you could talk to them about that. But when the board decided there are other viable alternatives, we did indeed opt out of that proposed service.
And so, again, I'm not trying to malign one or the other, or favor one or the other, but again, you are both in it together. You've got a long-term contract through 2058, I believe. So y'all are in this longer than the shelf life of many of us in breath on this earth, let alone politically, let alone serving on these boards. You're tethered to them for a long time. We all are. Good or bad, we're tethered. Y'all are tethered together.
Yeah, and good. I mean, let's say good, because
well, I'm trying to be quick.
Yeah, we are indeed.
Yeah.
Yes.
So to the question of your having the option, and again, 120 days in, out, yes, no. My question to you, did you, with the proposal that you have entered into with Sandersonville out of Georgia, share with them your plans and how it would impact them in their existing rights to serve and duties to serve you and other customers across the state?
Indeed, again, as you make your way through the documentation, and it was a lot, our goal being to be extremely transparent. If you go back to the Joint Planning Committee, so before a shared resource is even proposed, they're talking about, so staff is talking about what happens if Central is to opt out and how does that affect everyone. Discussion's totally transparent, happening with staff.
Again, to the degree that the direct question, hopefully, again, explain later, but in terms of this PPA agreement, did you, Mr. Tinker, or anyone at Central, show to Santee Cooper, here's where we're going, and ask and or, again, demonstrate how this will impact transmission, and the ultimate question of whether, if you have an agreement, which we'll talk about another day perhaps, how are you ever going to get it through and across the state line into South Carolina? So did y'all, and again, we'll ask Santee Cooper this later, but again, for my purposes today, you're saying y'all did share, y'all kicked the tires together, correct?
Consider you packed a lot into a question, so I'll try to be as crisp as I can. They propose a resource, we opt out. At 180 days, they have to share with us their plan, we have to share with them our plan. We shared with them our plan and talked about bringing already existing resources into the system. To do that, we also had done transmission service requests, which is with Santee Cooper. So we didn't know exactly at that point, at that 180 days, where these might come from. We had a few options, but to me, it was very transparent. It wasn't Sandersville because we didn't know exactly, but absolutely they knew. I believe we talked to the Joint Bond Review Committee. Our plan, without numbers, because we've got to be real careful with numbers, but our plan was to bring existing resources, peaking level resources onto the system, and I don't believe that was a surprise, hopefully not a surprise to anyone. To us, it was transparent. The details were not shared because the details weren't done at the 180 days.
Okay, and again, far more technical, but again, terms that we identified last week and FERC imposed requirements on the grid, not just in South Carolina, but in the Southeast, and the duty that you agreed that is solely Santee Cooper's to satisfy, again, those regional federal requirements on transmission. Again, for today's purposes, remind me, Central does not bear that responsibility like Santee Cooper, correct?
So we're within Santee Cooper's balancing authority. They have rules under FERC of their balance authority. But again, I will tell you, we feel those same things. And so, but we are part of those relations. Under FERC guidelines, we can be a customer. And so we work with the balancing, we're in two balancing authorities, Energy Carolinas and Santee Cooper, and we work within the rules. So to everyone involved, we send what's called a transmission service request. There's 3 steps to that. Again, I'll try to be crisp.
Again, exact apple to apple, we talked about it's a transmission impact analysis. That's a term of art in your world, correct?
Close. It's what I refer to as a system impact study, but I think we're talking about the same. So the transmission service request has 3 pieces. System impact study. That says what we need to change to bring the generation you're talking about into the system. System impact study. So that picks we call it elements, what transmission lines need to be updated, what pieces of equipment. The next is a facility study, if you want to continue. The facility study says at what cost. And then third is, okay, now we've done a system impact study, a facility study, let's enter into a service agreement. And so that, we did transmission service requests, we stopped at the system impact studies and did the cost analysis ourselves. But it was Santee Cooper, and at that point, it's Southern Company and Georgia Power telling us the things that will need to be done to bring that power into the system.
To the state line.
Santee Cooper's doing a study on their side, we both simultaneously.
So again, that study that Santee Cooper now is underway pursuing is precipitated by this announced plan that y'all shared with us 3 or 4, whatever, February 14th. Is that accurate?
It is. There's another piece of information. We started one early in the 180-day process because to do the correct analysis, you need to have that information. So we did transmission service request during what I'll call the robust, deliberate process, 180 days. We stopped at the system impact studies. Now we've done TSRs because we have a generator and we know where we want it to come into the state ring, into Santee Cooper, to the cooperatives. We've now done new transmission service requests that will ultimately should end in transmission service agreements. So we'll do all 3 steps. There were 2. We stopped the first one. Now this one, because we've got the generators, have started again.
There is, again, anecdotally, a great sense of you just can't make this happen. again, me dumbing it down, what I'm hearing, not the central naysayers, the central lovers and haters, but to the folks in Orange County, my allegiance singularly and the state loving it too. But this is a great idea, but you just can't get the flow without us talking about its reliability, resiliency, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, like those firm contracts we talked about before, PGM, or PJM, which is that didn't deliver. And 6 hours of rolling blackouts or brownouts that, again, calls into question. So just to kind of help me with the very specific technological specific stuff that I don't, I've got to write all this down here again. But to the person looking and hearing this, of all three other than those in this room, explain to me how you can get it in when the transmission is already effectively, if not 100% oversubscribed, without your having to build transmission to bring out-of-state power from a for-profit company. Sandersonville is not a tax-free entity, correct? You're going to pay more at the gate. The question is, you get to the gate, but you don't have existing transmission in the air or underground now to accommodate it. So again, kind of dumbing it down, is that a wrong sense of the plan that y'all announced us last couple of weeks ago?
I think wrong might be overstating it, but I think they're missing data and information, and I would love to share that with you. And I'll try to stay high level when we're on time. Every time generation is going to flow across state lines, across one balancing authority to the other, you have to consider transmission. In the real time, there is a product called OASIS, O-A-S-I-S. It stands for Open Access Same Time Information System. So in the short term, you've got to go see if there's the ability to move it back and forth. So in the short term, we use OASIS. Happens every day when we're moving power into and out of our state. So FERC has rules on that. Then you can do longer term deals, and that's where these transmission service requests come from. You can ask for non-firm, which means I don't want you to make any changes on your system. Or if you look far in advance, you can ask for long-term firm or even network integration transmission.
Real quick, let me stop right there. And that term, again, last week, and I'm learning this, firm delivery. Is that what you're talking about?
Correct.
Firm delivery. And so, to this contract that y'all entered into, is this for firm delivery of electric energy?
Yes, sir. In fact, what we would refer to as what we believe we can do is first we say what term is it, long term, and that matters. The length of the term matters because that's how you stack up long-term firm power. But our plan is to go even a step further. Long-term integrated network resource,
which shifts you back to the grid, does it not? That exists in South Carolina alone, that is oversubscribed, that it's at 100% capacity. So you're going to, and for correcting it on, you're going to bring more in, but you got to figure out with your balancing authorities how to wheel it in. And to their criticism or head scratching, or to the folks that are whispering, this sounds great, but there's not enough transmission in the system right now to accommodate new power out of state coming in. So
I respectfully will say that there are things that need to be done. But you can go ask those companies what are their long-term plans. They have to share them. We know their long-term plans. They know them. Again, very open, transparent. They have things in the system that will already help. So that's one. And two, they're going to tell us what needs to be done. And beyond those things already in the plan, which we believe we know from our first transmission service request, the things they will have to do, all our analysis are very doable. very few what I'll call greenfield sites. They have to reconductor. I mean, they have to make some of the wires bigger. There are things that will need to be done, but that's why you plan these things years in advance. And if you fail to plan years in advance, you get caught where you don't have options. So what we're planning not only offers more options to us now, it will offer more alternatives to the state in the future.
So this contract, I think, says 29. Mm-hmm. And that means between 23 and 29, y'all have got to find, with the folks that you're now talking to in the balancing authorities in South Carolina, you've got 6 years to figure out how to get it. Fair?
Yeah, and figure out is, again, there's lots of FERC rules and they're complicated, but they're studies. They use software, we use the same software. We did our own internal analysis, had an independent, matched almost exactly to their results. And they have plans, if you will, they've got plans already in the books to be done. There are a few new things that will need to be done. But this is absolutely doable and done all the time all across the country.
Okay. The long-term firm, is the same contract that Duke had with PJM.
You'd have to ask Duke that, I don't know.
So if that is what we have been told, how is Sandersonville any better than PJM?
It stands for New Jersey.
Thank you. And that is an upstate, northeastern company that Duke relied on with these long-term firm contracts to deliver for them at their hour of need that failed.
I would ask you to ask Duke.
Correct. Do you understand it to be incorrect, that assessment?
To be honest, I don't know if it was long-term, short-term, don't know. I do believe it was firm, but I don't know if it was long-term or short-term. And understand that there are different levels. That network integration service is that's a whole nother level. And then it's how long is the service? Is long-term must be over a year? Is it 1 year? Is it 3 years? Is it 5 years? Is it 10 years? The length of term then puts you on the pecking order. But understand that we need generation in our state, right? Our state is growing. You see the announcements that are made every day, many of those served by cooperatives, but everyone in our state needs power. And so one alternative is to build, and another alternative is to find steel that's already in the ground. And I think there's a nice blend of doing both that's available. And our opinion is we need things now. Today, there's a short, Santee Cooper would tell you the same as me, there's short capacity next year that we need because of the growth. And so 2029, we have a plan that delivers, that allows us to continue economic development in the state. And so I get that I'm concerned as well. These projects must be done. It's critical priority. But what I would tell you is they can be done, they will be done, and it is only to the benefit of our members in an effort to save them up to 10%.
Well, and I agree with that, and you just turn around right now and take a nod to the crowd because you're speaking to them and you're speaking to us as well. The difficulty in hearing it and believing it, no disrespect to Mr. Tinkin or you're saying 10% less, you're paying more for the same generation that you would partner with who won't be taxed at all. And so that's going to be the difficulty. And then, because our education committee members here, another sub-member, we're going to be vacating this room in moments. Wrap up just for now. We got to figure out whether we can find a spot to come back later today. Are y'all all here for tomorrow? Ori, are y'all here tomorrow? Y'all for both? So y'all are staying tonight. Okay, everybody kind of here, staying, or you don't have to be, but y'all close by. We're going to figure out whether we can resume this today. But to help us with the last word, Rob, you get the last word. Help us figure out how this is going to make sense. And you don't have to do it right now. But that is the very great difficulty that we are having in figuring out how you're going to pay a for-profit company out of state to generate power for less, and then have to, for 6 years, figure out a way who's got the right of way to build transmission to make it happen so that Ori co-op members members are made whole and can depend on it, and that Santee Cooper, who has the charge by law, because we didn't sell Santee Cooper, don't know if y'all remember that. It's a state asset, a quasi-governmental asset that we have given a favored nation treatment with taxing authority. And so help us, and I've said I'll give you the last word. I'm charging you hypothetically,
I'm not going to try to answer.
don't answer it rhetorically. Help us help make this case, Mr. Frick and others, because it just doesn't seem that you can do it. And so that we'll resume this, and again, if we can later today, John Frick, we'll talk about if we can resume this.
If you'll let me, just for transparency, I'm not going to respond, but our chairman wanted to say one word real quick. If you'll let me, Paul Basher is Central's chairman.
Paul, thank you. I know you're in a hurry.
State your name for the record.
Paul Basher.
And have you been to one of these dinners?
No, sir.
Have you been invited to go to these dinners?
No, sir.
Would you like an invitation to go to these dinners?
Maybe, but I like my wife's cooking.
Your wife would like you to have an invitation to a dinner out somewhere, I'll assure you.
I'm sure.
Very briefly, please.
Yes, we just want to let you know, with all the capacity constraints we've gone through Christmas Eve, with, what we were just talking about running out of power, Central is pursuing the next resource, and wanted to let y'all know that we have a vote coming up. This is a in-state base load, so no transmission issues involved. Resource is very economical that we are looking at that vote coming up in the next several weeks. So we just want to let you know that was coming, but like I said, it's flexible, reliable.
Gas,
No, sir.
generator up there?
No, sir.
Okay.
But it's a base load and a great resource and a very good price. So it's actually going to help our members, which is what we're all here for. It also may help the ratepayers down the road at Santee Cooper. So just wanted to communicate to y'all that that's coming and didn't want anybody to be surprised.
Do you feel, Mr. Basher, a sense of partnership with Santee Cooper, that it is in your interest, your members' interest, and the state's interest? Do you believe that we should uphold and try to perpetuate the good that Santee Cooper has charged to do by law?
Yes, sir. And I'll tell you, in the Central boardroom, everything we talk about is working together with them. And I talk occasionally to Jimmy Staten, sometimes with Peter McCoy, and they echo to me that everything they hear is that we're working together in a really great way and as a good team.